Morning. So, our wellness topic this week is happiness. We are going to be talking about happiness. So, off of last week's topic of the myths of meditation, one of the perks of having a regular meditation is that meditation does lead to greater happiness. And yeah, they've done studies on this, so it's proven. So, we're going to talk happiness. So, this means we've got to define happiness. Like, because what makes me happy and what makes you happy is different. We all have to define what happiness is for us. But I'm talking also about authentic happiness. I'm not talking about the happiness that we feel when we get that job or we get that relationship we want or we get that new house. I mean, that's all great, right? That's wonderful. I want you to want things and to get things and feel that this is awesome when you get it. But when we're always looking outward, right, for that happiness inward, we're pretty much setting ourselves up for suffering because the world has many different lessons and opportunities for us to learn this that will come our way. I'm talking about the authentic happiness within that happiness that stands that test of time. So when things happen, and they will, like even in the darkest of days, we have this resilience. We have this happiness within that we can draw upon that helps us get us through those toughest times and those darkest days. And so we can create this authentic happiness. And this is where, I honestly believe meditation is one of the best tools to help us to do this. So how do we do it? How? Happiness is a feeling. It's not a getting. So this is where when we sit in a meditation, sit with that question. What is happiness to me? Define that happiness. Yeah, it might be in getting that relationship or getting a better relationship, or we'll say that I'll be happy when I get this job. I'll be happy when I achieve financial abundance. I'll be happy when this new love comes into my life. But go a little deeper. And how will it feel? How does it feel? So sit with it. What is the feeling you're going after? How will I feel when I achieve this financial success? How will I feel when I get this love of my life? How will it feel when I get this new car? Okay, and it's these feelings that we want to cultivate and feel within. So we'll take action every day in the direction of these feelings. Right? It's how we want to feel. Ultimately, for me, what I believe is that we're all put here on this earth to go through this journey from fear to love. We're taught fear, right? We weren't born to suffer. We were all born in that space of love. And then we're taught to be afraid. We're taught fear. And we're just continually, that's what turn on the news, you're taught fear, right? Read something, you're taught fear. Look at the anger and frustration out in the world, right? We're faced with fear and anger and frustration all around us, right? Our mental mind can go inward and we can be our own worst critics. So we're taught fear. And so our journey in this life is to get to that space of authentic happiness, which is love. So we journey from fear into love. And that journey is different for everybody. We have to go in and we have to meet ourselves where we're at. And we have to sit with that and define, well, what is happiness to me? What is it? How do I want to feel? So for me, for example, like happiness to me is, first of all, happiness to me is having an open mind and having an open heart. But it's being able to feel peace no matter what is going on in my life. I want to feel peace. I want to feel contentment. I want to feel love, right? Happiness to me is kindness. It is forgiveness. The peace that I feel when I can forgive instead of the anger or resentment that I feel when I can't forgive somebody for what they've done. I don't like that feeling of discontentment. I prefer the feeling of peace. So that's, to me, happiness is peace. But it's love. Happiness for me is freedom. Freedom for me to be who I am. Right? So freedom is releasing resentments. It's releasing guilt. It's releasing myself from shame and suffering. It's hope. Right? And so we also have to, when we sit with this, where are our beliefs in all of this? Do we believe that we were born to suffer? Do we believe that we were born to not suffer? Right? What do you believe? So when we sit in meditation and we ask, well, what's happiness to me? And to define it, and how will I feel when I get all of these things that I think, what do I want? And how's that going to make me feel when I get it? That's what we're going for. Right? Happiness comes from our own actions, not from the actions of others. So when we can define what it is what happiness is for us, and that feeling that we're going for, we can start to take action in the direction of that. We've got to meet ourselves where we're at. Right? If happiness, when I speak about that, this journey from fear to love, and you're like, I'm stuck in fear. I suffer my whole life, right? Or maybe you've gone through a lot and you've noticed that, yeah, I want to feel at peace even when things are not going well in my life. Meditation is a tool that can and will help us on this journey, because if there is nothing that I know for sure, it's that life is going to throw us all of the opportunities to journey. Right? We can't expect others to make us happy. We can't expect that happiness to come when we get all of the things that we want. We want to feel into what peacefulness feels like. What does love feel like? What does forgiveness feel like? What does freedom feel like? And then you sit with that. Right? What feelings support what you believe happiness is? Okay. I have a daughter. I have 3 daughters, but I have one daughter who particularly struggles with this, with happiness. There's the mental mind, and when I speak of, how I feel, right? How I have found happiness in my life. And I get the look of, yeah, but you don't know what it's like to live in my head. You don't know what it's like to live. And so she struggles in that way. And so she's been one of my greatest teachers, because I watch her as she struggles to find this happiness. And so she's my greatest teacher, because I can see through her that everybody has to meet themselves where they're at, and that this is a journey. I can't help her. I can support her, but she has to find this happiness on her own. And she is a wonderful poet. She, when her darkest days, she grabs a pen and she writes. And as a mother reading some of this poetry, it breaks my heart. But I understand her poetry, her writing is a way for her to express it. Last week, she sent me a poetry that she wrote. And again, to me, it's guided. and she explains it. I don't know. I just sit down and I write, and it comes off of my pen. And she wrote a beautiful poem about the struggles in her mind and what she experiences. But in this poetry, she explains that even though she struggles, love always manages to find her. And in my blog today, I will post the link to this beautiful poetry. And to me, when I read it, as a mother of this daughter, I can see that there's these sparks of hope, in all of her darkness. She's realizing that love will always find her. It always has. She's realizing that love is within inside of her. And this is the journey. This is the journey from fear to love. This is the journey to, sitting with yourself and defining what is happiness, what is love. And so I wanted to mention that, because if you struggle with this, if you see me pop on and go, yeah, we're talking happiness, and, just go in the direction of what feels good for you, and you're like, I'm nowhere near that. I understand that, and I see that. And so I'm in my blog this afternoon, I'm going to post her poetry, this particular one, because it does signify that there's hope, right? That there's hope. Love will always find you, and love will always guide us. And when we're looking inward for the happiness, that's love. We're looking inward for the happiness. We are creating our happiness based on love. If we're looking outward for our happiness, it's fear, because if this person doesn't deliver what I need, I'm afraid, and I get attached, and we suffer because things don't go the way that we want to. So let's all go inward. That's what the intention is this week. Let's go inward so we can define what happiness means to us, so we can start to feel what happiness feels like. We can start to challenge our beliefs around happiness, and challenge ourselves to take action to find the happiness within, one day at a time. Go in and find hope within you. Go in and find love within you. Okay, I'm down to the last couple of minutes here, so we are going to tap this in. And as you tap it in, you just move. Find it. Find your breath. Breath is that connection to that inner space within us. Inside all of us, we have this soul space, this heart space. That's love right there. Tune into that. Okay? Shake out. We got to feel into this physical body. And our physical body is this is our physical existence. This is where fear resides, in here. Okay? Just march it out, and just kind of feel what you're feeling in your body. Feel the physical discomforts, right? Be able to feel the emotional discomforts, but then also feel into where your body feels good and what emotions come up that feel good, right? We want to really become aware, tap into this physical body, tap into this physical existence. Right? Allow yourself to feel. When we journey in to this inner happiness, into love, just tap in, rub your hands together. We can discover so much about ourselves. Okay, I want you to tap here at the collarbone point, get all of your energy moving in the right direction. Just breathe and feel, and ask yourself, what is happiness to me? Right? We all deserve happiness. We all deserve love. We were not born here to suffer. And when we realize that, when we adopt that belief, we can sit and go, this is what brings me happiness. This is how I want to feel. Tap into gratitude for all of the lessons we all get in this world, so that we can understand what it is that actually creates happiness for us. It's going to be different than what creates happiness for me or for you, but go inward. We have to find it within here, in the heart center. What makes me happy? What feelings do I want to feel? This is how we create happiness within. Right? Tap in right into those spleen points, metabolize this. Again, challenge all of your beliefs. You know what? I want everybody to experience happiness. I want you to experience joy and not face struggles because everything we think we need from the outer world gets stuck in the way of this inner happiness. Okay, and then just come up, ground and anchor yourself into this physical world, into this physical body. Know that we're going to be faced with many, many different challenges. And when those come up, when we have a solid practice of understanding what happiness is to us, this is where we have resilience. This is where we can get through the toughest days and the toughest times, because we know right here in our heart that we are happy. We know what happiness feels like within us. And we have the ability, we have the freedom to feel all of our emotions and come back to this space of happiness, whatever that is for you, peace, contentment, freedom. So I wish all of you happiness and joy and laughter and contentment and peace and whatever it is that you describe as being happiness for you. Okay, go inward and find what that is for you. Okay, intention this week is to define your happiness, to feel it, to sit with it. Namaste, my friends. Namaste.